Hi there. In this video, we're going to look at the most basic concepts of user functions inside of Power Query. So to start off with, we are here in user function simple.xlsx. We're in the function concept sheet, and here's the data that we're going to start with. So we've got all 5 stores here, and we've got the club members of each store. So, these are coffee carts or coffee shops, and they have, there's a club membership. So if you give them your phone number and you drink 5 coffees, the 6th one's free, something like that. So we've got, this is the number of members in each store, and we've got a special initiative that we've got where we want to double this by the end of next year. So we're going to take these numbers and double them. Well, that's pretty easy to do, and there's no real reason to use a user function to do that, but it's a nice, easy function, so we're going to start with that. So let's head up to Power Query. Let's get our data from a table right there. Okay, so the bad news, although it's not really all that bad, is that when you're writing user functions, you can't do it from here in the GUI, at least not yet. So you have to go do it in the advanced editor, which is not too bad. The more comfortable you get with the advanced editor, the more you're going to like Power Query in general. So it looks scary, but it's not so bad. Okay, so here is, here's the M code for this particular query. So right now it's got 2 steps. It sources some data from the that table in the current workbook, and then it changes the types of some of the columns. Pretty boilerplate stuff. So we're gonna start by defining our function as a step. And I always define my functions up here at the top above the other steps. I think that's usually a good best practice. So I'm gonna call this FNC for function, and I'm gonna call it target. We can call it anything we want to, but target works just fine. So what does target equal? Well, we're gonna do open parentheses, and we're gonna list out all the different arguments that are gonna go into this function. Or what is to say, later on, when we call this function, when we use it, what are the things that we put into this magical black box so that we get out the results that we want? Well, we only really need one thing, and that's the arg, and we'll call this starting number, right? So this function, it's going to take a starting number, right? And it's going to do some stuff with it. So now we're going to define what it does with it. Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to take the arg starting number, and we're going to multiply it by 2, right? So that's the function right there. It's really that easy. Okay, so we've defined. We say we've got this step called FNC target, and it's a function. We know it's a function because we define it as such right there, right? That's what that little thing does. So here we say it's equals, and in parentheses we put all the different arguments that it takes. If it took multiple arguments, we would have another argument, but this one, or another argument, but this one only takes one argument. So there we go. Okay, so it takes the argument. Okay, once you've got the argument, when you call it later on, what are you going to do with it? Well, you take that starting number, the first argument, and you just multiply it by 2, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and nothing's going to happen. Nothing meaningful anyways. This is the same as we had before. And the thing is we've defined the function, we just haven't called it yet, okay? So we've we've designed this magical black box, but we haven't put anything into it yet. But now, when we're here, what we can do is, well, actually, you know what? Let's start with this. I'm going to do it this way. So we're going to do it here in the advanced pane. So I'm just going to call this example 1. I'm going to create a step called example 1. And this isn't even going to be a table. This is going to be a simple starting number, or a simple number. So we're going to call the function target function. Okay, what are we going to put into it? We're just going to put in the number 2, right? Comma. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit done. And so I've added this step here, and if we click on example 2, we notice here's the function, and by the way, if that's not there, you just go up to View and click on Formula Bar. Okay, there you go. So function target, it puts in the number 2. The function multiplies it by 2. That's what the function does. That's how we define it. And the result is 4. Okay, so if I go back to the advanced editor and change this from a 2 to a 3, again, function target, this 3 is the equivalent to arg starting number. So the function takes whatever the arg starting number is, multiplies by 2, and it returns it. Okay? That's going to be the answer. Okay, so when we do that 3, it's going to be 3 times 2 equals 6. So example 1 should be 6. And sure enough, if we click on it, there we go, it's 6. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so let's actually use it for something. Let's go over here to the last step, and we're going to go to add column, and we're going to add a custom column. We're going to add a custom column, and we're going to call this new target club members. That's or well, let's not call it new target club members. Just call it target club members. You can call it whatever you want to. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I'm going to move this out of the way. Our function, you have to sort of remember this. So our function, or you could just move this out of the way and you can read it. Our function is fnc target. So we're going to do fnc target, case sensitive, open parentheses. All right, well, what are we going to put in the function target? Well, let's put in the club members for this year. And rename this one more time. So to get the target club members for next year, what we're going to do is we're going to take, for each row, we're going to take the club members of this year, and we're going to put it into the function target, which should take whatever goes into it, multiply it by 2, and spit out the answer. Or it's going to grow everything by 100%, or it's going to be 200% of the original number. So I click OK. There we go, 173. Well, if you multiply that by 2, you get 346. 145, you multiply that by 2, you get 290, and so on and so forth. Okay? So it really is as simple as that. You know, we could do a lot more complex stuff with it, but ultimately all you're doing is defining a process, and you're defining a process that you can put things into. You can sort of pass arguments into it and get results out that you find meaningful or useful. Okay, well, in the next couple of videos, we'll look at some more complex versions of using this tool, more complex ways to use this tool. I do hope that was helpful, and I will see you next video.